Examples here. We're going to have our second generation line breaker. This is her. She looks beautiful. And we have Esther, our first generation line breaker. She's the first, so she doesn't have parents that were praying. But Doyin has had parents that were praying. She grew up in a sound church. They have done deliverance, all of that. But she never really encountered God for herself. So let's say they're about the same age, maybe 20 or so. And they decide to get to know Christ for themselves. So now Doyin decides to encounter Jesus, and so does Esther. But as soon as Esther decides to encounter Jesus, remember that Doyin already has an altar established in her bloodline dedicated to Christ. Her parents were the Abrahams. Her parents were the David. Her parents have already been fighting the battle, so she is stepping in alignment and continuing the call. But Esther here, God himself had to call Esther because he heard the cry of my people in Israel and Egypt, and he said, I must raise a Moses. So Esther becomes the Moses. But as soon as she wakes up and realizes, I don't want to be bound anymore, guess what happens? Because when you're dealing with altars, maybe in the world she even succeeded. She was getting money. She had booze that were filling her. Okay? She was lit. But now she has encountered Jesus. So the altars in her bloodline heard word of this, and they said, okay, let me see how you're going to make it in life. These ropes here represent the iron bars. So you encounter Jesus now. She doesn't know that she's tied up. The enemies from her foundation have heard what she is called to do. They saw her future. So they were okay with her until the alignment with Christ came in. Their bronze gates and their iron bars. Who told you that you're going to move forward in life just like that? Now, Sister Doyin here, her family has cleared the bronze gates and cleared the iron bars. So now they have started their salvation journey. They've learned that you must pray, you must fast, join service group. You must praise. You must do everything. So Doyin starts praising. Esther starts praising. They pray 12 hours every day. Now, Doyin begins to make progress. So as she's walking, she's getting married. She's getting money. She's getting her dream job. She's getting everything she desires in life. Now, here is Esther. The altar keeps dragging her back. There's bronze gates. There's iron bars. They're praying the same amount of hours. Now, second generation line breaker has moved all the way ahead. And here Esther is crying, Jesus, you have forgotten me. But she has no clue about deliverance. She doesn't know that if you don't pull down the altars, there is a strong man that will never, ever let you go. You say you want to have children? Let's see about that. You say you want to be a millionaire? Let's see about that. You say you want to fight and pull down? Let's see about that.